How y'all doing? It's that time of year again. May the 4th be with you. Yeah, I've arranged this a little double duty for this because I want to have this one ready by May the 4th. And I've done 2 videos for May the 4th be with you. First was Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back. And then the second video for May the 4th be with you was the Star Wars Arcade Classics. But there were some Atari games that I have not yet covered. Some I was a little reluctant to do, as one, I kind of wanted to use the more authentic controls. That's still a work in progress. Hopefully I'm getting a little closer to making that a reality. But we're still going to cover those last 3 games on the Atari list anyway. First on the list, Star Wars Jedi Arena. Star Wars theme. Checking through the different levels. Invisible. It's 1 and 2 player. So, here we go. There's the theme. Starts off a lot of these games. Doing 1 player. I'd really love to do 2 players some point in time, and I'm doing it on the slow level. So, you're swinging your lightsaber, trying to protect your barriers, and also catch the laser beam. It's like Luke Skywalker with his target drone. In this one, you're playing against the computer. When you're doing 2 player, you can fire lasers at your opponent using the drone. But apparently here, no, you're on the defensive. It's the computer that's on offense. But if you can fire your laser doing 2 player, you can also take out your opponent's defenses. And when it goes random on that, that is when the computer's defenses come open. But here it's like you versus the computer. It's not a fair fight. It's better suited when you're playing with a real life opponent. And these days I just have to find one. I got a few ideas, but it's just a matter of getting them involved. And at some point, I'll look for one. But yeah, keep deflecting the laser beam with your lightsaber. And try not... Yeah. If the laser beam gets you, you're done. You're the blue lightsaber, but sometimes you can change your angle. Sometimes you're at the bottom, and sometimes you're at the top. But the premise is still the same. Use that lightsaber, and don't let it hit. Don't let it hit the barrier. And just hold it off. It really doesn't seem like a lot to this. Like I said, it's better suited when you've got a second player. It's a lot more intriguing. Otherwise, you're trying to last against the computer, and the only time the computer gets hit is when the drone goes into berserker mode. When you're manually trying to fight off the drone, you're a little more open. Doesn't seem like much. Well, I guess it's not terrible. But you're swinging a lightsaber back and forth, and this is a paddle control game. When you're using emulators, you're using the flip buttons usually on the controller. This also is better suited when you're using the original hardware. Some old school gamers complain about not using the original. Sometimes with the original you get better results, but sometimes to do with the emulators, it's what you have. And it can also, well, some games it may work a little better. Keep fighting off those laser beams until you get blasted. There you go again, and your defenses are really wearing thin. Okay. Hold off. Got you there. Holding. Got that. Yep. And blast, 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 blast. Okay. Still enough. I'm putting up a good fight. Another laser blast again. Oh, we got another defense. Fight another beam. Got me again. Another beam. Berserker mode. I'm off on that. Oh, I'm lasting. Nope, didn't last too long. That was Star Wars Jedi Arena. It's better played with the paddle controllers and better played off the original machines, I believe. You can go slow, you can go fast, you can go, well, medium speed if you want. But I also think it's more fun when you're playing a two-player game, and that is something I want to remedy in the future. Just need to find a playing partner to do it. But when you're playing head-to-head, you're able to use the attack drone against your opponent, as you can fire laser volleys at him to weaken his defenses. When you're doing one-on-one, you're just trying to last the computer, which is a hard task to do in itself. One-player games, you're sharpening your skills. Two-player games, that's where the adversaries really kick in. Well, the adversity. Pardon my wording. Next up, 2600 Star Wars Arcade. Like many, it opens with the Star Wars theme. Again, hit reset, the Star Wars theme again. This was an Atari game in the arcade. However, Atari did not have the home console rights to produce this game. Parker Brothers had the rights to the Star Wars video game titles. So, Parker Brothers made Star Wars for the 2600. Maybe, well, in an ideal world, Atari probably thought they would have been able to make their own, but not in this case. It plays a lot like the arcade game. It's a little slower, and you still got the fire power balls to fight off. TIE fighters you gotta shoot, but it doesn't seem all that many. You also got the towers up ahead, no bunkers. And yeah, you gotta blow up the Death Star in this too. Also making use of emulated controls on Xbox. But I guess even with the regular hardware, there's still a few limits you can go. The first run, it's still pretty easy. Usually it's like avoid the lasers. But also, keep in mind the exhaust port is coming at the head. And you blew up the Death Star. And the theme music happens. And you're ready for round 2. Yep, Darth Vader's TIE Fighter. Usually with TIE Fighters, you can just watch them explode, but Darth Vader's works a little different. Him, you just blow off the screen until he decides to make a return. Or there's another TIE Fighter that can take over. You blast the fireballs, you blast the fighters, you blast the bunkers, and you try to keep your ship more or less intact. You got your shield bar up ahead. You got your score counting. Blast. Control is, I guess, a little sluggish. It is definitely one you have to get used to. And down to one shield. And yeah, when you go to the next level, you have the catwalks. Watch those. They can come at you. Well, there's also, I guess, a uniformity and blast it. Star Wars the arcade game for the Atari. It's a little sluggish, but you can pick up some skills if you know where the ins and outs of the game are. It's like where you can duck, where you can swerve, and what all you can hit. The arcade game controls are a little more free and open, but this is still a fun little home game to play. Like I said, there are a few tricks there are to progressing and moving along, and there's still quite a few of the surprises of the old game, and there's still one or two things missing from it. But it's enjoyable. You can have fun with it. You can work with it. No theme this time. Apparently they did not make one with a theme. And you're flying the Millennium Falcon instead of an X-Wing or a Snowspeeder. So you got a different ship, but you missed the theme. In the back is a half-completed Death Star you have to blow away. Some gaps in the shield will appear, and you gotta get through those. Okay, going through. You have to blast the Death Star's defenses little by little. Also blasting away the TIE interceptors, but you also gotta be careful. And I guess you also got blocks putting together the construction on it. Gotta chip away at it, but it also still has its super laser ready to blast you at a moment's notice. Gets sight of you, it'll shoot you. You also gotta take out the blocks underneath, but apparently it's also throwing some blocks in as it's being constructed. It can be done. Blasting. Yeah, there's a Imperial shuttle. Still trying to get to the flashing dot in the center, which is the main reactor. That's still the game's objective. Blow up the Death Star, target the main reactor, but also don't get shot by the super laser. If the green super laser detects you, it's game over, or life over. But you lose your lives. Yep, that's it. One more go. Yeah, one more go. Finding the TIE interceptors in the outside. Looking for an opening to the shield in, so you can take out the half-completed Death Star. Okay. Still blasting away the interceptors that swarm in. And found your opening. Still blasting the interceptors. Death Star being completed. Watch out for the super laser. And also don't go into too many collisions with the TIE Interceptor ships. The first home game with the appearance of the TIE Interceptor, not the TIE Fighter. The arcade game, you had Darth Vader's TIE Fighter and regular TIE Fighters, also with the arcade for the VCS. Well, with The Empire Strikes Back, you had AT-ATs. I guess that shuttle can still wreck you as it flew right into you. And don't let the Death Star be completed, as those dots are looking to complete it. And it got me. And got me again. Still blasting away the interceptors. Still try to whittle away chunks of the Death Star so you can get your shot in. But avoid your adversaries and avoid that laser. Fortunately, it just seems to be stuck at the top, but it moves down. Looking to build more blocks. And that was Star Wars Death Star Battle. Did not have the opening majesty of the movie soundtrack, but still had a few challenging efforts as you're trying to fight off the TIE interceptors and even an Imperial shuttle as you're trying to blast away the Death Star bit by bit. The Death Star clearly is not defenseless as it has its super laser to knock you out. Trick is to try to blast through the Death Star bit by bit till you get to the main reactor and boom goes the dynamite. It's another one of those where you need a little more practice at, a little more challenge, and I don't know, maybe the original equipment. It all depends on your skill level and what you're comfortable with. Some prefer the original, some prefer the mods. That's decisions left up to you. But Jedi Arena and maybe even Death Star Battle, that might be better with the original equipment. And that is something I need to work on as time goes by. And rest assured, that work is continuing. At the end of the day, all I can say is happy May the 4th be with you. And I hope you all enjoy your Star Wars Day as much as I enjoy it. There's going to be some naysayers that will complain that it does not match the Star Wars they remember. We do get caught up in nostalgia as we like to look at, well, what may come off as happier times as a kinder people. Now, it doesn't seem like we're that kind to one another anymore. That some people enjoy the hate a little too much. That's not what sci-fi is about. It's not what Star Wars is about. I don't think it's what a lot of the properties are about. But at any rate, I enjoy Star Wars as it is right now. There may be a few hiccups here and there that might rub me the wrong way. But I love sitting back and enjoying those films and the series that come out. And even playing the games when I have a minute. Which unfortunately I promised last year I'd try another run at Return of the Jedi for the arcade. Do you think I have the time? Just a few minutes. One more time this year. I said I'd come back to this, but I don't expect to do much better. And you'll see why. Leia going through on the speeder. Biker scouts behind you. They can blast you from behind. Guess the trick is to knock them off their road. Don't get hit by them. If you want to take them out, you gotta go through Ewok traps, which you never really know until it's too late. Gotta avoid those trees. Well, it's a forest world. And, nope, blasted me. Game over. We go one more time. Pressing start. Going for the easy level, and yet I wonder what would happen if I ever did the hard level. Well, I'd be dead instantly. Probably have a whole lot of trees there.
I see it.
Darth Vader saying, I'll deal with them myself. And here's Leia on the road. Well, the path. Not the road. There's no roads on Endor. Knock the biker scout into a tree. Alright. And don't get hit yourself. Definitely need more practice with this. Maybe I should stop reviewing these games and just focus on this. Then I wouldn't have a whole lot of new content. And yeah, I'm sure the trolls would have something to say about that too. Well, I don't think much about the trolls. Game over, but there's always next time. The answer to that question is no. I still need a whole lot of work. Although I did think I got a little bit better at the second try. It's kind of like Roadrunner for the Atari. You gotta use the joystick. The D-pad won't work. Once you master the joystick and you can figure out the ins and outs, you only got one speed. Forward, fast, left, and right. At least for Leia's Biker Scout scene. I'm going to continue to work on this one. I'm not done with Return of the Jedi yet. And with the Atari 2600 collection out of the way, I guess I look at new games to take a look at. Stay tuned, and see you next May the 4th.